My boyfriend always put his friends above me until they all turned against him. I don't know if this counts as revenge or just letting karma do its thing, but my boyfriend had a habit of always putting his friends above me, every single time. For 3 years, I was patient. Then something happened that made me stop defending him, stop covering for him, and just step back. What happened next wasn't my doing, but watching it unfold was the most satisfying thing I've ever experienced. Here's the whole story. You know how people say that if someone shows you their priorities, believe them? Well, I believed mine. I believed Ryan when he told me I was the most important person in his life. He made me feel like it was true, at least in the early days. We met 3 years ago through a mutual friend at a game night. Ryan was that guy who always had a story to tell, always the loudest laugh in the room. He was confident in a way that felt warm, not arrogant, or so I thought. And then there was his friend group, a core set of guys: Matt, Jason, and Aaron, all friends since high school. Then there were the women in the group: Chloe, who was dating Matt, a couple of girlfriends of the other guys, and strangely, two of Ryan's exes, Brooke and Stephanie, who were still very much in the circle. That should have been a red flag, but I ignored it. At first, I liked his friendships. I liked that he valued long term connections. They had their little traditions: Friday poker nights, camping trips, random weekend road trips where they'd just see where the car takes them. I figured it was healthy for him to have his own space. But over time, I noticed a pattern. Whenever his friends called, he went, no matter what. We'd be in the middle of dinner, and if Matt called because his sink was leaking, Ryan would grab his keys and go. If Jason's internet was out, Ryan would drop our plans to help him troubleshoot, even though neither of them worked in IT. One night, we were celebrating my dad's birthday. The cake had just been served when Ryan's phone buzzed. It was Aaron, asking if he wanted to come over to watch a new movie. Ryan literally stood up from the table and said, "I'll be back in an hour." He didn't come back until almost midnight. The excuses piled up. Birthday dinner with my family? He left early because the guys are doing a surprise barbecue for Aaron. My promotion party at work? He showed up 2 hours late because Matt needed help moving his couch. I told myself it was just him being a good friend. But after a while, it didn't feel like friendship. It felt like I was competing and losing. The breaking point came last summer. My sister Layla got engaged, and she invited Ryan personally to her engagement party. Layla had always made an effort with him, even buying him a birthday gift the year before. I made sure he had the date saved months in advance. He promised he'd be there. The morning of the party, his phone blew up with messages in the group chat. Someone had scored last-minute tickets to a massive football game, sold out for months. Ryan looked at me with that sheepish grin and said, "Babe, I'll just meet you at the party after the game, okay?" I told him, "Ryan, this is important. You promised." He kissed my forehead and said, "It's just one game. I'll make it up to her." He didn't show up. At all. That night, I had to smile through my embarrassment and tell my family he was sick and couldn't make it. Layla just gave me this look, not angry, just disappointed, and it hit me harder than I expected. The next day, when I confronted him, he shrugged. It was a once-in-a-lifetime game. Your sister will have other parties. That was the moment I realized I wasn't his priority. I was just an option. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't break up with him. I just stepped back. And then I started noticing cracks in his perfect friendships. Chloe, sweet and non-confrontational, mentioned offhand that Ryan had been making jokes about Matt's weight behind his back. Jason was annoyed because Ryan had borrowed his expensive studio headphones months ago and never returned them. Brooke, yes, one of the exes, quietly told me she was tired of Ryan inserting himself into her relationship with her new boyfriend. I didn't gossip. I didn't spread rumors. But when people came to me, I listened. And I'd say things like, "Wow, I didn't know he said that to you. That's surprising." Then I'd just let the silence sit there. At work, Ryan and I were in different departments, but I knew he had a habit of taking credit for other people's work. My manager once asked me directly who handled last-minute changes on a client proposal. Ryan had claimed it was him. I told the truth. That was actually Sarah and Miguel. Things started shifting. Slowly. By fall, Ryan wasn't getting invites to poker night. Matt unfollowed him on Instagram. Jason stopped returning his calls. At work, his manager stopped giving him big projects. He didn't know why. I did. The big moment came at a friend's birthday dinner. Ryan showed up late and tried to take over the table with his usual loud charm, but the air was cold. People smiled politely but didn't engage. Then Chloe, of all people, broke the silence. Hey Ryan, remember when you said Matt was too fat for the hiking trip? I told him, and he's not too happy. The table went dead quiet. Matt glared at him. Ryan laughed nervously and said, It was just a joke. But no one laughed back. The final blow came a week later. Jason reported the missing headphones to HR. Turns out they were company property. Security pulled the footage. Ryan was called in and fired for violating company ethics. That night, he called me, furious. You did this. You turned everyone against me. I told him, Ryan, I didn't need to turn anyone. You did that all on your own. And I hung up. A month later, I bumped into Matt and Jason at a coffee shop. They invited me to join their partner's hiking trip. Without Ryan, Matt smiled and said, You were always welcome. We just didn't see it before. In the end, I didn't need an elaborate revenge plan. I just stepped back and let Ryan be Ryan. And when someone's true colors are that ugly, you don't need to expose them. They'll paint the picture themselves.